sure make sure that you have a look at the pins at the top of the WhatsApp groups for the training. It really does help out for any questions that you do have around drugs or security issues on the training. I'll post them again in case you missed them after the meeting. The detached teams, we will have some of them walking around this year. We didn't last year. We're hoping to have about 3 detached teams walking around. On the Wednesday and first part of Thursday, their main jobs is to help people into the campsites, set up their tents, give them directions to what they might need, water points, etc. The Arabs will have electricity on, so we can charge our phones. If someone really needs to charge their phone for an emergency, then please do let them. So just reading that WhatsApp message. Yep. So we will have kettle available for hot drinks during the night as well and during the day. There will be first aid, simple first aid supplies on there like plasters, sanitary products if people need them, etc. Do feel free to jazz up the Arabs, make them more welcoming. I know John has got a couple of bubble machines. There'll be a chalkboard on there to write any questions that people ask a lot. So where the water points are is one of them. What time the main act is on in the arena. Directions to the car parks, directions to the exit, etc. So yeah, and you might want to like put a quiz on like favorite pot noodle, etc. Just make it really welcoming. When we've got the detached teams on, we'll swap around, so like you're not always sat on the Arabs. Obviously, if you just want to be stationed on the Arab because that's where you feel more comfortable, that's fine. You don't have to swap around. It just stops you getting bored, and also lets you get into the arena to see a bit of music if you want to as well. Each detached team will have a notebook and a pen. If one person on each detached team can be made their job for taking notes on any incidents that you want to pout on, the team leaders will then upload these to an iPad in the back of the cloud, which is the back of Lost Property. The cloud is where we'll be meeting for starter shifts and end of shifts. If you could try to be at the cloud at least 15 minutes before the start of the shifts, just for handovers. Go on, I'll take your question, Alison.
Thanks. I think you were just starting to cover that. I think with the shifts and where you start with the shifts. I think it's useful. I'm not sure. It might just be useful to find out how many people who are on the call attended the All Angel welcome call and had the information about coming to site and accreditation and all of that sort of stuff. Did everybody get a chance to join? Just some hands would be really helpful if you did. Okay, good. So a lot of it was covered off there about starting. That's great. I think it's just obviously with the minibuses as well as just being aware if you are going to be looking to utilize the minibuses, just understanding what times those run. So from the campsite they run on the hour and on the half hour. So they will get you to the back of the prayer cafe, and then I think I'm right in saying, isn't it, Conrad, it's about it's a good 10 minutes, walk from the prayer cafe there. So just be aware of the length of time to take to actually get yourselves to the Lost Property cloud area for that handover. 15 minutes, as Conrad said before, because that's quite important. I just also saw that, Patrick, you had your hand up, didn't you? And I think Sue has also got a hand up at the moment.
I did indeed, yeah. Thank you. Just you mentioned at the beginning of the WhatsApp group. I noticed I've got an invitation to an all Festival Angels one and to a Lost Property one, but is there a separate one for detached and air hubs?
There is indeed. I'll send you the link through for it.
That'd be good. Thank you. I assume that's just me then. Most people have got that, I assume. Fine. Thank you.
Yeah. If you haven't got the invitation for the WhatsApp groups, then please do message me after the meeting and we'll get that sent out to you. So you've got your hand up. Is that for a question?
Yeah, I'm just we weren't able to make it to the first, the initial welcome meeting, and it's our first time being at the festival and being volunteers. So was that recorded so we could listen to that?
It was recorded. That is on the YouTube channel. You will find it once I send out the link. You'll be able to see
Okay.
all of the calls that were recorded, whether that was lost property, the all welcome call. It should have got it. It's gone out. I can say this: Paul isn't on the call at the moment, is he? Paul Blakey? No, it's his birthday. It's a big 50th birthday for him, and something was mentioned on the call, so I kind of deliberately not sent it out so that he doesn't access it. But yes, that's there as well. And it will give you information about the accreditation process and everything. And Kelly's worked really hard on producing the welcome pack, so hopefully you've all had a chance to have a look through that and orientated yourself with the entrance at Purple Gate, and you've hopefully all filled in the survey form, which basically says when you're intending to come, when you probably are going to be going to the accreditation to get your wristbands, things like your t-shirt size and whether you come in a tent and your car registration number and all that gubbins. Hopefully you've all responded to that. So we've collated all that information. So it's there for you, for us to be able to make sure we've got the right allocation. The t-shirt order did go in last week, so if you didn't order that late, then hopefully there's some extras, but not necessarily all the sizes. I just wanted to cover that off. I've kind of stolen Conrad's thunder, so I apologize, Conrad, because I know you were going through and sort of saying questions, so I was noticing all the hands coming up. So sometimes it's easier to do it that way, isn't it? But yeah, I'll leave you to cover off anything else or take the hand questions if you want to.
Yeah, I'll take the hand questions. Go on, Mark. You've got your hand up.
Hiya. Just regarding timings, my first shift is 8 a.m. on Thursday. The first minibus is at 7:30, and you say it's about a 10-minute walk from the prayer cafe. So do I need to get there in time to walk from the car park to the Cloud?
Yeah.
Okay, so how long is it from the car park to the Cloud approximately?
Well, you'd get the if you're intending to get the minibus, you'd come in through Purple Gate, park there, go for the minibus. The minibus is about a quarter of an hour to the back of the prayer cafe. So if you're getting the 1/2 and you walked fast, you just about make your shift. So in reality, it definitely, certainly for your first shift, I would say instead of aiming for the 7:30, it's a 7 o'clock one. And then you give yourself a little bit of wiggle room and a bit of time to make sure you get there and you're not puffing and panting by the time you get there, which I would be if I was, thinking I was on the clock. And that way you can orientate yourself a bit and you're there in good time.
Yes, so there is a 7 o'clock minibus. I thought the first one was at 1/2, but
it's the first one at 1/2. Then apologies, let me double check that. If the first one is at 7:30, then yeah, let me double check that. I haven't seen the timetable. If the shift pattern of you, Conrad, does it start at 7:30?
Yes, it is 7:30.
Okay. So my apologies then.
Yeah.
7:30, yeah, that will then go to time. So just be aware, of that. Yeah,
so it's probably best to just walk from the car park to get there.
You can do either. It's not that far, really. It's entirely up to you what you want to do. I mean, if that's the first shift, will you already have done your accreditation? Are you coming a day before or something to get your wristbands and everything?
We're hoping to do that on Tuesday at the welcome meeting.
We have had confirmation that the accreditation you have to have the accreditation at the site, and it will not be open after 8 o'clock. So you'll be very tight to do it after the welcome party. So the advice would be that you need to probably get to the camp to go first, and then get yourself booked in and accredited on the site on Tuesday before the welcome meeting, and then you can drive over if you're going home after that, obviously. Or if if you wanted to, if you were staying on site, we are going to be taking the minibus, so we're driving the minibus over there.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
I just saw something pop up there. Did it say ask about the survey form? The survey form came out quite a few weeks ago by Debbie Harris, and she sent out a few reminders. So if you filled it out a couple of weeks ago or whatever, then that's fine. Yes, accreditation is open on Wednesday, Vanessa.
Go on, Jonathan, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, just going back to the t-shirts and the hoodies. If you have ordered them, if you make yourself known at the welcome meeting, I will be dealing with them. And there will also be, there might be a couple of extra hoodies or jackets that will be on sale.
These are the ones that have been ordered to be purchased, isn't it, Jonty?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Paul's asked me if I can deal with it. So yeah.
Okay, thanks.
And Naomi, you've got your hand up.
Hiya, yeah. Simon and I have only got notification today that we're joining you, because I think some people must have dropped out, which is for us. So is there some information that'll be sent, that the stuff that we've missed?
Yeah, I'll get that sent across to you either after the meeting or first thing tomorrow.
Lovely, thank you. Thanks.
No problem. So yes, let me just double check where I was. So yes, you should all be in the WhatsApp groups. Obviously, if you're not, just let me know after the meeting and I'll get you added to it. That's for the overall one and for detached and aerobes. The overall one will be locked down closer to the time. Also, please don't use the aerobes and detached one for arranging to meet up for like going for drinks or back into the arena after you finish shift. Keep that off the WhatsApp groups. So WhatsApp groups are just to pass out information, for example, missing people to keep an eye out for, or certain things that welfare want us to pass out to you. Also, we will be working with, there will be other organisations doing other aerobes, detached teams. Make sure you go in and check on them as well, not just on ours. Also, nip around the campsite managers' cabins, say hello to them, pick up any lost property as well. Take that back to lost property just to help them out as well. Especially late at night, like obviously like detached down to bare minimum. Lost property down to a bare minimum, so it really helps them out through the night if you can get any lost property to them. Any questions?
Naomi, did you have a question? Or is that an old hand?
Sorry, an old hand.
That's all right. Gosh, you can tell how many times you've done these blooming meetings over the last few years, don't you? No, that's great. I think in terms of shifts and making sure that you're on time for shifts and being there for shift handovers with the cloud, I think we are trying, as Conrad did say, one of the things we want to make sure we do is we capture and we're able to communicate the value that we've added and the things that we've done. So we will also have a sort of an escalation process. So if you are involved or you come across anything serious, that there can be some quite, hopefully we'll all have a great time and there'll be no serious issues. But if you're ever feeling out of your depth or you're not sure how to deal with anything or you need help, then please make sure you reach out to your team leaders, your coordinators, or me or Kelly. If you're unsure about anything and at any time you need to have a talk or you need any further information, then don't just wonder and think, oh, what should I do? Reach out and get some help, because you will see that there's an awful lot. It's a crazy place. If you've never been there before, it can get really quite crazy and all sorts of stuff can go on, particularly as you get into the festival and, as Conrad said, when it gets late. So work as a team, look after your team, and if you're unsure or uncomfortable or you need any help, then please shout. And I'll be on site most of the time. Obviously, Conrad is. Your team leaders have got lots of experience. So use that process. And as I say, if you're unsure of anything, reach out.
Your team leaders will be in green, so there'll be me, Bryn around during the day, Patrick and Erica as well. We're the coordinating team for Arabs and Detached. Like Alison says, she'll be around, Kelly, Paul. So like if you do need to talk about anything, any questions, then do reach out while we're on site and let one of us know. Lynn, did you have your hand up? You're still muted, Lynn.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I just wanted to ask, have we got chairs in the air hub, or do we need to take our own? Because I know last year we were taking our own, but we really need something for, if we've got any potential casualties, we need something a bit more than that long board thing for them to sit. Sometimes they just need to sit down.
Not as aware. Have we got any chairs?
I mean, I've got a fold up chair for myself I can take, but I think, you know, when you, for somebody that, you know, anyone that's coming in who's the worst for whatever, we could do with a chair, really.
Yeah, obviously, if you want to fetch like your own camp chair down to use, during your shift, etc., or if you've got a spare one, you can fetch along, to use in the hubs.
And the other thing,
just
to mention to people who haven't been before, is just to make sure if you need a bit of time out, go and have a bit of time. You know, as long as we're manned, because sometimes you just need a comfort break or something like that, don't you? Stretch your leg, you know, just. So if you're feeling that you just need a bit of time out, just let one of us know, and you know that's fine. Don't think that you've got to.
Yeah, totally. Breaks will obviously you'll be given breaks during shifts.
Yeah.
Detached teams are there available if you need like toilet or like comfort break. There's snacks available in the back of the cloud. There's also the back of the prayer cafe as well.
I think I've said as well, if anyone has got a burning desire to see somebody and they're on shift with, you know, and I'm around, I'm quite happy to just go and fill in while they. Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, you know, if I'm around, I don't mind just filling in whilst if somebody's got they really want to go and see somebody.
I mean, that's lovely to offer, Lynn. That's brilliant, and that's really helpful. I think if we have got, if you sort of on a shift and committed to that shift, then, and if there's any reason why you can't do that shift, whether it's, you know, some personal reason or you're feeling poorly, or yes, obviously if you want to see a particular group, but hopefully everybody's had a look at committing to the shifts that they can do, and that raises the point that if you aren't able to do a shift for whatever reason, if you can give us as much notice as possible, and that's not just the air hubs, that's across the whole piece, prayer cafe, lost property, anywhere. If you feel like you're not going to be able to be on shift, you know, life happens at the end of the day, particularly for people that aren't sort of staying on site, then please let your you know, that your coordinators know as soon as you possibly can, so that we can make other arrangements. I think the chair's a brilliant idea, Lynn. I think it's probably a little bit challenging because if you know, just thinking of some of the work in the Peace Cafe recently, once you've got somebody sat and nice and comfortable, sometimes it can be quite difficult to dislodge them again. And sometimes if people really need to sit down and they're in that sort of a situation, there may be other underlying reasons where they may need some support from welfare or medical or something like that. And of course the prayer cafe always has its tables and chairs in it, so that's not too far away from the air hub. So if they are feeling a bit vulnerable and want to sit down and want to be in a bit more of a safe space, I suppose suggesting that they maybe go and have a sit in the prayer cafe, because of course early doors we're going to be recommending to everybody that they go and buy their prayer cafe mug. So if they've already got their prayer cafe mug, hopefully they can go there. Mark, you had your hand up. Did you want to ask something?
Yeah, just a quick question. Do we know which air hubs we are manning, what areas we are?
At the moment, we have an idea of which ones we are doing, but obviously with a festival this can change, so it will be confirmed once we get onto that, which aerobes we're doing. So I'm just gonna, before the next question, I'm just gonna hand over to Patrick, who's gonna talk about the new forms for this year.
Oh, okay, excellent. Right, yeah. I was totally ready for that, Conrad, as you can see, as I imagine. Yeah. So this year we have had paper forms in the past for filling things in, and we're going online now for that. So essentially, what we've got there's 2 forms, and they're both on the Festival Angels website. So I could put the link in the chat, or whatever, Alison, you can send it out, or Conrad, you may have that already. But it's essentially there's just 2 forms. One which we expect the team leaders, one of the team leads, to fill in at the end of every shift. And if it takes you more than 5 minutes, you're doing it wrong. That's it. It's literally just a quick summary and recap of what's gone on. So, and part of the reason for this is so we can, end of the day, go back to Festival Republic and say, look, this is what we've been doing. You know, we've helped roughly 700 people with these different things across the course of the festival, and we've got the evidence for it. So it's really important for us to do that, so we actually have some sort of trail of what we've been doing. So, and it comes very simple, the form. So one is the end of shift form, one team lead. At the handover point, when they come back to the cloud, there'll be a tablet and a laptop there which you can use to fill the form in. So you don't need your own device. You've got your own device, you can do it on your way back, you're welcome to. But if you want to use ones in the cloud, that's perfectly fine as well. And then the other form is an incident form. So really, if something happens that's like out of the ordinary, and I mean, it doesn't mean like everything, but for example, if something really, really good happens, like somebody runs up and says, wow, you guys are amazing, I baked you a cake, here, take this back, we've told my friends you're fantastic. Let's record that. Let's keep that as a separate little list of what's happened. Or maybe say particularly bad has happened. We want to record that in case something comes up later, we want to refer back to it. So there's a separate form that called an incident form. So there's the shift completion form and the incident form. I will just quickly show you. Actually, I'll probably share my screen, can't I? I don't know. Have a look. Can I do that? Present now. Oh, I can. Yeah, look at that. I'll share my screen. There we are. There is detached forms. Hopefully you can see that. That is on the there we are. Yeah. So that's the Festival Angels website. It's I'll post the link in the chat for you, but I'm sure the powers that be will make sure you get the link in various different ways as well. If I can find the chat option. I never use Google things. There we are. Right. Yes, the link is posted in the chat now. There we are. So on here you've got these 2 forms: shift completion form, and underneath it the incident form. So normally you just fill the top one in. And it just describes what you do. Who are you? How many people do you support? What things we're doing? Just 3 or 4 kind of bullet points. We mainly carry people's luggage today, or it might be we helped 3 people set up the tent. We found 5 groups who needed to find their friends, and we helped them. Whatever it is, just some simple things to say that really. And then the incident form again is, well, who's this for? And what happened? What was it? When did it happen? What are the outcome? Particularly if it's going to be followed up by the leadership team of Festival Angels. So that's just a very brief outline of the forms, primarily for the team leads. Doesn't anyone to know that the fact they're there. It should be straightforward to do. Any questions? One of Conrad, Bryn, Pat, Erica, and Joe will be there at the end of shift anyway to make sure that you know what to do. So should not be complex, I hope. Any questions on that before I hand back to Conrad? Wow, stunned silence. I'll take that as victory. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patrick. So any other questions before we end the meeting about anything to do with aerobes and detached? Go on.
Roxanne, did you?
Hello, Conrad.
Hi, Steve.
Oh yeah. Is it the intention that that people stay on the air hubs for the whole of their shift, or they swap between air hubs and detached? Or
no, swap between aerobes and detached. Obviously, we know it can get a bit boring on aerobes if you just sat in one stayed in one sorting out one position all the time. So yeah, detached teams will be nipping around to the air hub and see if you do want to swap over with them.
Okay, that would be good. Yeah.
Aaron?
I've just found it. Yeah, I just wondered, we're on the first day, we're doing 4 till 12 because we're only there for 4 days, so we're having to do a double shift. Do we get a bit of a break? I know you said you have a break. Do we get a bit more than a break and something to eat in between? Can we get something to eat? Is that all right?
Yeah, no, plenty of snacks, toasting machines, etc. available. The back of the cafe, the back of the cloud. Even if you want to go and chill out for an hour or two up at the campsite, like in between your shifts, and then come back on shift. Like you got to look after yourself, otherwise you can't look after others.
Yeah.
That goes for everyone. Like, I know it's going to be a good weekend, but make sure you look after yourself, because like without us being good, we can't help others. Go on, Roxanne.
Hello, it was actually my question.
Hi.
Conrad.
You're right.
You're right. I was just wondering if for a repeat of last year, where maybe you'd bring me a bacon sandwich when I'm on shift.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, just one of them. Nice.
I heard Conrad makes really good toasties as well. So.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Go on, Caroline. You've got your hand up.
Yeah, just wondering if there's a leader with you all the time, or if you need assistance. Is it a case of using the radios, or what happens?
There will be a team leader around most of the time. Obviously, like the radios are there for like if you need medical assistance or security assistance to your air hub, or if you're on detached into the arena. The apps that I can recommend, obviously the Leeds Festival app, in case anyone has set times, say you have to buy one of them lanyards that cost a fortune, and also What 3 Words app, just helps you give a location of where incidents are, etc.
Okay, that was just my main concern. If you needed assistance,
No, there's always team leader around or coordinator.
Okay, thank you.
Go on, Alison.
I was just going to come in on what with Caroline, the festival All Angels WhatsApp group is going to be watched all the time, so we will have that under review. And as Conrad said earlier on, we will be making sure that only admin will be able to post, so myself or Kelly or the coordinators, and that will be very important if there's a situation. So if you are in a situation where you need help and you need help quickly, as Conrad said, if you've got What 3 Words or where you are or a brief description and ask for help, clearly your team leader is going to be there and the coordinator there. But if at any backstop position, you use that. And also you all should have in the welcome packs the contact numbers for myself and for Kelly and for your coordinators. So if you're ever in a position where you're feeling that you need immediate help or assistance, then do not hesitate and ring somebody and ask them for help and explain what the situation is, and we'll be there to support you, because that's really, really key. I think it is a bit challenging, coming back to what Karen said about if you've got a double shift, and clearly you've got to have a half hour here and there and have a break and go to the loo and what have you. But we do need those shifts covered, because if you do go for a longer time or go back to the campsite within a shift period, then that's obviously taken away from your colleagues that are on shift. So just be aware of when you do that and make sure that's fine, because we've arranged the shifts so that we have a good coverage across all the different areas. So we just need to make sure that we're available and we're covering the areas that we need to cover. That's
Caroline, if you just let us know what shift that is, I'll make sure we've got cover so that you can go for a bit of an extended break. Roxanne, have you still got your hand up, or is that in your question?
Sorry, I forgot to take it down.
No, it's all right. Yeah, I'll put my number again in the WhatsApp group, so that you've got it for anything, emergencies, etc. Any questions? WhatsApp groups there. I'll also put my email address in. But yeah, look forward to seeing you Tuesday if you come into the welcome meeting. we'll have some radios there so you can like take a look, see how they work better. So you're not throwing at the deep end with the radios. Have a play around them. Just make sure like you're comfortable with them if you're not using them before. Also, you'll be able to pick up your mugs at the welcome meeting and also plenty of pizza. So yeah, look forward to seeing you on Tuesday if you come into the welcome meeting. And if not, I'll see you around on shift at some point. So thank you very much for coming.
Thanks, Conrad.
Cheers, Conrad.
Nice one.
you.
Cheers, Conrad.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in a bit.
See you later.
Thank you, guys.
Bye, everyone. See you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
He is actually.
Bye.